Kentucky, and we're born and raised up there, and up there in the mountain there. And nobody had any water back when I was a boy, and y'all had to truck the water down, and we had to get the water in the buckets, Daddy said. And there's an old man got on him one morning and said, "Hey, boy, and you got my bucket there." And my daddy said, "That ain't your bucket, that's my papa's bucket there." He got mad at my daddy, and he's just a young boy and had no shoes on when he's a boy, and he didn't get him. And my daddy ran home and told his daddy what that man said.
Well, anyway, hey, look here. We got tanks now. We got water tanks. And I thought I'd show you what we do with tanks. This right here is an awesome tank that we ordered that we can put in an elevated floor. And this is for Jen. Jen, if you're watching, this is your tank. What I like about this tank is this is going to hold fresh water and it's going to hold gray water. She's got two of them. In our floors, we got an elevated floor in hers. We usually go by drop axles. Let me show you over here real quick. You see the floor height is right here, right? Inside. And our axles, or our fenders, are up inside the build. When we first started building, my floor height right here was here. All right? We've gained almost a foot inside elevation because of our axles and some other things that we've done to lower the house. That's where our houses are at 21 inches. So if you buy a trailer, you're gonna buy a tiny home from somebody, and you want a lot of loft because you want drop axles. I'll try to get a drop axle to show you all what one is. But anyway, because Jen has a drop axle, she wanted her door right here. And if you enter into there, we're gonna have to step down into the floor, right? Well, what we did is we elevated the floor in her house, and that tank right here is gonna slide. We had it tailor-made. I think it's called plasticmart.com, and they build these tanks for you. We told them we wanted this particular size, this height. Her water will go in and water will come out, you know? So this one right here is a drinking water, and they got different ports where you can use these at. You can plug your ports, you can ask for your certain ports that you want on it. So in here, this is drinking water. This is for Whitney. Whitney, this is your tank, just got in today. We'll be installing it, bringing your house to you, or you come and getting it. But this is for his drinking water. I think the capacity is about 75 gallons of drinking water in this. And plasticmart.com. I suggest when we do a water catchment system, they say they're against the law. Well, I'm against the law. Everything I do probably here is against the law. I mean, Lucifer's against the law, this big stove I got here. So, but if you want a water catchment system, you want to catch rainwater, but you're going to give it away, you're not going to drink it, okay, because it's against the law to drink water. So what we're going to do is I suggest when the water comes off your house is put it in an exterior tank. Now, if you're in Minnesota, I don't know how to do a water catchment because it's going to freeze, right? But if you're in a conducive area that's going to allow that tank, I mean, I was born and raised in Detroit, south of Detroit, in a little bitty town. And man, when I was a boy, it would be below zero. It didn't get above 20 degrees for 3 months, you know, and whatever's out there is froze 4 foot down in the ground. I don't know how you do water catchment. I'd like to know if anybody can tell me. Sometimes water will melt from the sun. When I was in the Midwest, the sun didn't come out for weeks. But I have a young lady in Texas, and she's got a 400-gallon tank outside the house, and it works great. So the water comes off, and you can put it out there, and we put a pump that pumps it back in the house. If you want an onboard water system, it's a little tricky, but it can be done. It's just the capacity is not that large because where are you going to put a 400 or 500-gallon tank in the house, you know? So my whole suggestion is if you want water catchment, which I think they're awesome. I want to be as independent as everyone else, you know, catching off-grid and everything. It's wonderful. We're getting better technology, but these are onboard tanks. These right here, look here, $199, 65 gallons, okay? And you can get this tank over at Tractor Supply or co-op called Farmers Co-op here in Tennessee. And they're the same material as that. You can put your drinking water in here. It's a 65 gallon. They've also got gallons that are 225 sit in the back of a pickup truck. So I want to talk about a little bit about water. We catch it off the house. We also have a first flush system. I should have brought it out here. And then I'm going to get it for you. And it actually keeps the debris that would come off the house. If your house is setting for a while and there's a lot of debris, the water will first go in your first flush. It'll fill up and there's a ball inside and it stops it. And then the water flows past the ball. Your clean water will go into your tank. I'm sure it's not a perfect system, but it gets a lot of the debris off you the first initial rain that comes in. So that's what you get in here. I love the water catchment. I think it's great. You've ever been without water? Man, what a mess. You know, you just want, and to know that you've got independence. And Whitney wanted that tank on his truck. He's got a food vending truck. And so he's got a tank and he's used to having one. But every tank system, if you had water, has to have a pump. Okay? So you can get a DC pump or you can get an AC pump. DC's battery, AC's electric. When we wire our house, it's all AC. And then when you want to go off grid, we have an inverter that changes it from DC to AC. And that way we go ahead and put an AC pump in there. That keeps the pressure, so when you turn on your faucet or your shower, you got lots of pressure and you can take a shower. All right? But that's our tanks. As you can see, they're bulky. It'd be hard to put inside a house anywhere, right? And it's just better to have an exterior tank. For doing off-grid, I talked to a lady tonight, and she's from California, Southern Cal. They don't get a lot of rain. When they do, it's torrential rain, so they might go long periods. I suggest a massive tank, 1,000 gallons. I used to have my resort in the Smoky Mountains, and what we would do, and had the state of Tennessee, they tested my water clarity, the consumption of chemicals and whatever we had to test. We had to keep log books and everything. And believe it or not, we had a chlorinator, and the chlorinator just dripped a little bit parts per million. So when you're doing your own, chlorination. Nobody likes chlorine, it's cancer causing and all whatever, but just a little bit can kill all the bacteria. I'm not a scientist, and you guys are going to probably tell me, hey, you're going to kill yourself and plastic's going to cause cancer and everything else. Well, you won't believe what I'm working here. I'm sure I'm walking around with tumors in me right now from everything we're working. But if we got to live and I don't have a whiskey barrel to carry all my water in, this is the next best thing right here, or I got my mouth hanging under a gutter. But right here, she was wanting 2 homes. Well, I'm going to tell her, I'm going to show her, I told her I'd show her tonight. If she wanted 2 homes, but what's really cool is she wanted 1 home for her and her husband, and then 1 for her son. And her son doesn't need a kitchen. He needs a bathroom, maybe a loft in the living room, but no kitchen. Saves a little bit of money. So you can get our basic build and have 2 cabins or 2 homes, right, for a really good price. As you can see, this don't have to be just a 32-foot. This is a 30-footer. This is a big home, but this can be in any size home. What I do is, and we've featured this home before, this is the loft, and it's really, it's good and strong, and it's big. So you got a loft upstairs that can be used for an office, which this owner is going to do. 2 sofas, a sofa, a chair, and you got TV on each corner. I allowed for each one the can lights. So I wanted to show her how big this living room was. So if you just walk, stepping at 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, I got big steps. I'm like a galoot. So you're looking at what? 4 steps times 3, 12 foot. So it's 12. Our interior measurement all the time, if you're sketching them out, is about 88 inches wide. Take that little ruler. Get you a 3-sided ruler that has a 3/8 equals an inch, 1/4 inch equals a foot, 3/8 equals a foot, 1/2 inch equals a foot. And you can put it on a piece of typing paper and draw it out. Everything is to scale, and it helps you out. Here's the stairs going up. I just ran up here. We made the last step a little tall so we could fit a refrigerator under in there, and it's on top of the fender. So me being 8'6", I'm hitting my head just a little bit. But look here, I'm sitting down. This is my loft. And back here, you can't see me anymore. I'm gone, it's in the dark, I'm a troll. All right. But that's a loft. Lofts are always going to be crawling on. It's not for everyone. But I wanted to show her how easy it is to walk the steps. They're very good to walk on. These are regular steps that would pass any code. A kitchen, refrigerator, we got a drawer under the stairs. under the stairs, under the stairs. Okay, I really like this. Let me point this light back here. And this is really just for her, but I think everybody kind of likes to see the homes and the features. Remember, everybody, if you have stairs, this is my opinion. If you have stairs, you want your kitchen right here. Could you imagine sitting here? Now this is my living room. This is if I had my kitchen down there. Now my TV is 40 inches from my face. I got a big living room down there. So when you're designing your home, kind of think that in flow of traffic. I never put more than one interior wall in the whole house. And it's always in the bathroom, right here. That's the only interior wall. And we do an interior wall, it's 3/4 inch wood. It's not a 2x4 thick wall. It's 3/4 of an inch. And we lay out our plumbing and everything and light switches to figure that. And we've already showed this home, but it's a big bathroom, okay? I wanted to show her and her family what size home this is, how big it is, how good it works. And our 32, I think this is a 30 footer, and our base price is 55 grand. Yeah, you heard 55. And I can make a living. I can make a living at that, 55 grand. I don't know what else the high-end homes are doing. I mean, I can buy some really nice pillows and some nice blinds to go over there, and I can have a nice, because I just don't have that kind of, we call it styling, maybe. I don't have that ability in me. I still wear, look at these boots. Look at my boots. Look, this is my boot. Look, I need new boots, but look at my shoelace. Can you believe a guy's gonna order like $1,000 shoes? No, or
show them out in here. Put them on.
look. But that's me. I've had a broke shoelace. For about 3 months, and I don't know why. Look, you know why I do that? Is so it won't come untied. So you think a guy like this is gonna know what kind of pillows to buy and the real chic? There are some high-end tiny homes, and I love you guys. I think they're beautiful. But I'm wondering, what am I doing different from the high-end? All right, I can buy this window as a vinyl. Okay, this means right here, that right there is a single hung. That means this guy right here doesn't move. So if you want to clean it, you got to go outside or tilt this thing out, pop your screen and clean it in there, which would be tough. But it's only like 110 bucks at Lowe's. And I say Lowe's because they're good to me. They're not paying me to say that, but they're good to me. I can get a wood with aluminum clad on the outside. I can get a crank, awning, casement, beautiful windows. 3 times the cost of these right here. It doesn't cost me any more labor to put a $100 window in as it does a $300 window. So when I build you a home, I do not charge you any more money to put that $300 window in as I do a $100 window. That's my niche in the market. Why should I charge you any more? My profit is already figured in this home with this many windows. You can, if your window is $1,000, what does it matter to me? Some people say, well, if he can afford $1,000, well, I'll need to jam him. I'll need to stick it right to him. He can figure $1,000 and need to pay me a little bit more. No, that's not what we do. If that's what you want, that's what you want. Is what I want. I want my base price or my profits figured into the job. It's not. There's no. You're not getting any kind of damage. You're not getting any kind of what am I saying? You're not going to be
like cheaper.
Yeah, or adding another window. So I just think that's the way I like doing business. These windows here, I got a good deal on it. You know, this is a big picture window, tempered glass. I think I got it for $200. Isn't it awesome? We put it in. It's reclaimed. Somebody didn't want it. It's sitting in a warehouse forever. I'm always buying stuff. I'm always buying wood. I talked to a lumber guy today, good friend of mine. We're trying to use what's called planer outs. Planer outs is wood. May not be as best. Look right here. That's a planer out piece of wood. That means that the sawmill wanted to get rid of that piece of wood. Maybe because of this imperfection, right? Or this discoloration right here. They wanted to get rid of that. If you can see outside, that house there, you see all them dark marks, all that, them are called water marks. When it was out in the weather, we dried it, stickered it. We called sticker. We put slats of wood in between the pack, and that's what it turned out. The homeowner loved it so much, he said, I don't want to change the color let's just urethane it, and they put a clear coat on it, 3 or 4 clear coats on it, and they love the color. I'm not saying I want to build every home like that, or I want to use every, if you want to use different types of materials, I'm good. I've got a customer wanting to use all birch plywood inside a home for inside here. We'll do it, no problem. Sheetrock, you want to do sheetrock. They make sheetrock now, it's pretty flexible. Also glues, less screws, and in the mud joints, you can put, you know, either a trim, you know, or a flexible mud joint, which is going to crack probably a little bit. But one thing that we've done in our homes was the spray foam polyurethane insulation is that we've trucked these across the nation without any flexing, none of the tiles busted, an entire floor, none is busted. Bernstein Hurst from Hurst Trailers in Washburn, Tennessee. You can look him up. He designed, him and I designed these trailers, put them on here, and they seem to be really doing well. We've also got the tech school. They're doing, like I said in our last video, they're doing drawings of everything I do. And then they're going to coordinate with engineers and architects. They're doing stress load capabilities, calculations, and seeing where we come out. Hopefully we'll come out, and if we don't, we'll make some changes to beef these or whatever we need to do. Hopefully we can even change our architecture to save some money, load, and less materials. You know, I may be overdoing a lot of things, but I want to learn, and I want to know if I'm doing, you know, too much or not enough. So I wanted to show her this home, 30-foot home. This right here is a rough sawn, I'm just trying to point out a few things to y'all. This is a rough sawn redwood, right? Rough sawn, it's still a pine, it's a soft wood, and it absorbs stain darker, okay? So we darkened this up to try to match that, but it still has a little bit of a contrast. Up here you'll see up on the top, it's a rough sawn. Rough sawn just gives it a little bit of a texture other than the smooth wood. That's called tongue and groove. We used to tongue groove. That's a popular wood that a lot of people are using. They used to use these up in the cabins, believe it or not, up in Gatlinburg for siding. We're using this. It's a tongue and groove. It fits in for siding. All right? We've had a lot of questions about stuff. Over here, Ty, that's your home. That's a 30-foot home right now for the clinic that's coming up. I know I can't technically say, I'm sure they go, well, they're not building a home in 6 days, are they? No, you got it framed in before they get there. Well, yeah, we sure did. We had to have it framed in, you know, because probably it takes a little bit longer than it does. But you know what? I'm honoring my promise to the people that I opened my clinic to. And we're excited about them coming. We're excited about them staying here again for another week. We got 3 homes to build this Sunday coming up. People are going to come in. We're excited about them coming here and experiencing what we do. And I know what it means for somebody. Think about it. The money that they're putting in, they're going to live right in there. That's their home. You know, and they spent good money on that. It's a lot of money to build that. That 30-foot home was $30,000 plus amenities. I don't have his contract. He's looking at probably $35,000 or more, you know, with different things that he's wanting to do. Saving $10,000 or $15,000, yeah. I'm not, you know, we got to adjust our numbers because I'm just breaking even, and it was something I just tried, but I am so glad we did it. I'm so glad we were able to prove the one thing that I think is the best of all. That's the 1 day's work right there for our crew, 1 day. And our high school boys, they come in here, they cut all our rafters, they cut all our studs, they cut all the things we need. It doesn't take them more than a couple hours to cut it all. We got jigs for our rafters, we got jigs for our stud height, and we subtract all that, and we got our headers. They got a couple, 3, 4 hours in that thing, right? But that's what happens. He wants a shed roof. You got the windows, got everything he wants. That's about a day's labor. But we're excited about them coming. We got a 24-footer, a 30-footer, and a 16-foot home that we'll build in 6 days. So we're going to build 3 more homes in 6 days. My biggest thing is, we'll go back over here. My biggest thing is that we're proving that you can build a nice home. You've seen the homes from last week. You can build a nice home in just a week or two, instead of taking 120 days, 90 days to build it. Now, grant you, listen, if I could, I'd probably like to take 90 days to build a home, but I'd get bored. I probably would. I mean, good God, going to the same house 90 days. That's like when we built regular homes, it took that long, you know? Even 30 days is way too much, you know? I love this because we're quick, we're good, I don't know why it would take any more days. We can totally put the inside of that house together in probably a day and a half, you know? That's our workshop. Another thing, I don't want to bore you, but I wanted to tell you that I don't know what's going on, but there's a couple stories I wanted to tell you about. We've got a young lady in the western United States that hired a guy to build her home, and it didn't work out. And the house is not complete, and she needed help. The money's spent. Calls me, wanted to know if I could help her. There's only a few $1,000s that she could afford to actually get it fixed or get it done. All is a shell. You just got to be completely finished. And just lost her husband, widow, and somewhere I read, I don't know, in history said we got to take care of orphans and widows. I don't know what that means, but you know what? When I lost my business and I was, didn't have anything or no responsibilities and I didn't know of anybody in need. Nobody came to me in need. And when you have a business like this, when you have people working for you and around you, you have a responsibility. So much is given, much is expected. And that's what I feel like. It's about helping her. So we're going to do our best. I hope we can help her. I hope we can take care of her. I hope we can give her a nice home. I got my high school boys and a couple other guys here that said they're going to try to do things in the evenings, and we're going to put that together for her. We got to do it quick. We got to get it out of here because she's got to have it back in Tucson. How we're going to get it from here to Tucson, I don't know, but we're going to come up with a way, all right? But that's just part of it. I just want to let you know that's what we're doing. There are some high-end tiny homes. God, I wish I was as good-looking as them guys. I mean, there's some good-looking people that are selling these tiny homes, and I'm like, God, I've missed my mark, I'm over the top, but I'm coming back. Hey, but it's more than the appearance, I've learned that it's about everything. I had a young man tonight left, was wanting to go to college, and I said, what do you think about school? And he goes, I'm mad at you. He said, why? And he goes, because I'm thinking about sticking around here, and I like what we're doing. I like this industry. I like the environment. And you know what he said he liked most of all? He liked the working area, the guys. He liked the spirit behind all this. And my guys are hand-picked. They're sweet guys. They're good guys. They're guys that, if I tell them sweet, they'll probably bust me in the mouth. But you know what? They're good guys that care about each other, care about what we're doing, they care about the business. So I'm trying to help them too, and they're helping me in return. But to have a young man want to do that and want to say that, I thought was really an accomplishment for what we've done. Remember, less than 2 years ago with no investors, no help from nobody, but maybe David, my buddy, started this out in the backyard, and so it's remarkable. We got 10 or 12, I got 15 guys here working now, and building these homes and trying to make it. We're still trying to find that balancing point of how much to charge and how much we're going to make and how much it's costing. I've had to buy a bunch of stuff, but it's been really good. It's been a good experience. YouTube, subscribe, 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to build you a free home. YouTube, go just as soon as I'm gone, go to YouTube, subscribe. You'll get a free home. I'm going to make a drawing, name out of 100,000 people. You might be a winner. All right? And then March 11th, we're going to auction off a home to the veterans. A lot of the vendors and stuff that I work with, Lowe's, and I haven't talked to them yet, but the trailer guys, the foam guys, everybody that's helping me and we buy things from, they said they'd love to be on board to try to donate some portion of a build. We're going to build a home in 24 hours. We're going to start 10th, finish the 11th. We're going to go live on Facebook the 11th of March, and we're going to give a home away. We're going to auction it off, and all the money, all the proceeds are going to go to a veteran or a veteran's. We don't know really how we're going to do it, but it's going to go to the veterans. I'd love to give it to a vet, a special guy or girl that has given their dedication to us. If we can do this more, we're going to do it more. That's just part of it. I think it's fun, and we're having a good time. One thing I was going to try to do is, does anybody ever know how strong OSB is? OSB is oriented strand board. See this right here? Oriented strand board. And all you carpenters out there, you guys all know what does it do when you cut it. It splinters really bad. It gets in your fingers. You don't like to handle it. It's structurally engineered. Everybody uses it a lot. People like to use it in sheeting. We use it on there. I like plywood too. I probably love plywood, but plywood's, that's about $8 to $10 a sheet. Plywood's $15 to $18 a sheet, Here's You know what I'm gonna do?
No.
Yeah, let me see.
No.
I'm gonna see how strong that plywood, this right here. And then next week we'll see how strong the plywood is, okay?
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna say, look here, I got a helmet. I don't have a helmet. But I've always wanted to know, when Steve Yeager's buddy of mine, we used to run through a house. He'd tear a house down, we'd run right through the wall and bust the wall out of it when he was 18. Stupid.
Randy,
but right
what
here,
are you gonna do?
Here, let's see what this is.
Oh my God. I am not.
Oh,
What?
look at that.
Oh my
Broke right in half.
God.
Look here. Body slam.
Randy.
Perfect.
Oh my God.
Perfect. So, OSP don't seem to be very strong for a little bitty guy like me. I'm 132 pounds, you know what I'm saying? See ya. Have a good time. See me Wednesday at 8 o'clock. No, 6 o'clock Wednesday. Fridays at 8. I'll bring Teddy back. Everybody's been a little tired from the workshops. Kind of tired, wore out. It's wintertime in Tennessee. I love wintertime here in Tennessee because it's not very hard at all. It's just really nice. Love you guys. Send all your messages in. Love to talk to you. Thank you for your business. Have a good night.